What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Zoe at No Days Off DFS, here to bring you that NBA slate breakdown for the big 12-game slate we got today. After having some small slates and split slates over the weekend, we're back to a big 12-game slate. Can't wait to go ahead and break it down and see if we can't find some value in the studs that we need to pay up for on this big slate. If you guys new here, you guys haven't done so already, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the content rolling out over here on the channel. And drop a like on this video if it helps you, or if any of the other videos I put out will help you guys win some money. If you guys were here over the weekend, didn't do too bad. The cores on point, props hitting at a pretty good rate on all of our props. And right now, if you're trying to play on prop sites like Prize Picks, Underdog, any of the sites that got props, or if you're playing DFS, DraftKings, FanDuel, whatever site that you play DFS on, check the link down in the description below for the Dub Club. That's where all my stuff is posted. You're not only going to get my stuff, but everyone else over here with the No Days Off family. You're getting all that stuff down there. And right now, promo, it is free. Go ahead and sign up while you can. Again, I say this for the past week. I am not too sure how long this promo is going to last, but definitely sign up while you can for it. It is free. You get a month for free when you sign up right now. So definitely check that out if you guys are looking for more information, more stuff, and check the promos down there if you guys don't have any of the prop sites and stuff like that. Like I said, been hitting on props at a pretty good rate over the last couple weeks. Been doing pretty decently. I have uploaded already props for today's slate. Only did a handful because the board kind of small. Of course, not everything is out just yet. I will put up some cards and stuff later, but I went ahead and put out the early value that I seen. That looks very good, and you can play it on more than just Price Picks, of course. So definitely check that out. And I already put the recap for yesterday. Went 7 and 10 on the NBA plays that were posted yesterday. Pretty good slate overall, even though it was crappy. It was a small slate, but still was able to find some value, and been just rolling with it. So definitely check that out if you guys have not done so already. All right, getting into this, looking at the slate. Well, yesterday's slate, not bad, cashed yesterday. The core, pretty good core that I had put out over there on the site. We had Luka, Jaren Jackson Jr., Michael Brogdon, and Zaire Williams as value yesterday. And then the cheat sheet, honestly, if you paid attention to that and you just took a couple of plays from there, especially the top two value plays that I had, and then just ran it with some of the mid-tier plays that you could have got in, or if you also watched the video of what I broke down, which everything kind of happened to a T. Definitely you should have been able to make some money yesterday, especially just some of the call outs in regards to who should start and who should be where and things like that was actually really on point. Kind of pat myself on the back on that one right there. So hopefully we can do that again because as you can see, big slate, and we got a lot of injury news and stuff that we have to pay attention to. Recording this one a little bit earlier today, so I'm not going to have that afternoon injury report in regards to if players are going to be in and out and what's going on, but got a general idea in regards to just looking through and reading some notes on some of the players. So going over the injury report, starting with first game that they got up here, we got Golden State taking on Detroit. They did play yesterday. Already came out that the vets, they are all going to play today. Going up against a feisty Detroit team. Right now, Jaden Ivey, he's a game time decision for tonight. Yesterday, Detroit, they did play yesterday. He was late scratch yesterday due to illness, so he was sick. So depending on whether or not if he's going to be in or out, that's going to boost some of the guys off the bench once again, and secure some more minutes for Ivy, well, not Ivy, for Killian Hayes if Ivy is going to be out. So definitely we're going to want to pay attention to that. Luckily, first game of the slate. Over here for San Antonio, taking on Indy. Devin Vassell, I doubt that he's going to play. He's dealing with a groin strain, and we know how those are. So I would be surprised if he plays. If he's out again, then we're going to see Branham be put back into that starting lineup, which is a really great spot for him going up against the fast-paced Pacers team, and the San Antonio Spurs. They are on the back-to-back as well. So definitely want to pay attention to that. Really do have some interest in this game, of course, with it being the highest total of the slate. So definitely a spot that we could probably attack. Now, one thing to note is San Antonio, they did go into overtime yesterday against the Toronto Raptors, so keep that in mind. For Dallas taking on Orlando, Kepler really don't matter too much in regards to him, but if he was to play, then that's going to mess with Derek Lively's minutes. We do know that they like to run Kepler out there at the center position. Over here for the Orlando Magic, Markelle Fultz, I want to pay attention to that because if Fultz is out, then we're going to see Anthony Black slide back into starting lineup again, which he did not look bad at all, and that also is going to boost the value in guys like Cole Anthony and Jalen Suggs in regards to ball handling duties that they're going to take. We already know that Wendell Carter Jr., he's going to be out for some time, and the sites did not adjust to Goga in regards to the high fantasy point per minute production that this dude gives you, and he's still sitting under 5K, which is kind of stupid. And Mo Wagner, the backup center, is priced more than Goga. So really, we got some pretty good value in these first couple of games. Going on down to Washington taking on Philly. Looks like they're getting some guys back. Really kind of shouldn't matter because Philly should legit beat the dog breaks off of them in this game. They are literally the more superior team. As you can just see, like just look at the starting lineup, just ridiculous. Los Angeles Lakers, they are still dealing with a bunch of injuries for them, but their main guys, they are all good to go and play. Taurean Prince is back for this game. Miami, Jimmy Butler, he's going to play. They're going to get RJ Hampton and Duncan Robinson. They're playing as well, so nothing new over there for Miami. For Milwaukee, no news for them. Brooklyn Nets, they're still without Claxton. They're still without Johnson. And Ben Simmons, he's a game-time decision to be back today. But last time that I checked, he wasn't on the injury report, so his back should be good. So hopefully we get a full allotment of Ben Simmons back in the starting lineup. They're going to need his size out there going against Milwaukee. For the Clippers, we already know that Terrence Mann, he didn't travel with the team, so he's out. So any more stops that they make on this road trip out on the East Coast, man, we don't have to worry about that. We know that James Harden, he's going to play. He's also supposed to be on a minutes limit playing, so that'll be interesting to see how the starting unit of Westbrook, Harden, PG, and Kawhi Leonard is going to do. Pretty good test going up against New York Knicks. RJ Barrett, I do expect for him to play today. He practiced yesterday. As long as he doesn't get any setbacks or anything like that, he should play today. Definitely going to need him going up against the Clippers, which I do feel like Clippers should win this game, even with the insert of Harden. That should honestly, hopefully, we see them gel decently in that first game. Utah, no news for them. Chicago Bulls, Caruso, Patrick Williams, both of them should be playing. Ayo, I believe that he should be out. For the Kings, De'Aaron Fox, he is still out. Trey Lyles is out as well. For the Houston Rockets, Tar Easton, he is doubtful. And then Asar, or is this Amen Thompson, he's out. Down here for Boston, White, he should be back. He just was missing the last game due to the birth of his second child, so he should be back. And then nothing really over here from Minnesota. For Atlanta, no news, nothing that we really need to pay attention to with Kobe Buffkin and Wesley Matthews. That doesn't matter. For OKC, we are still without SGA and Kendrick Williams. Both of them are out. Now for New Orleans Pelicans, we got news yesterday that CJ McCollum collapsed lung again, so I definitely expect him to miss probably close to a month again, like he did in the 2021 season when he had the same exact issue happen. So we should see maybe Dyson Daniels getting slid into the starting lineup since they are still without Alvarado. Definitely a boost for him being put into the starting lineup, but of course, this is going to boost guys like B.I., Zion Williamson, maybe a little bit more for Herb Jones. Those guys are going to get more shots and more touches, and I would expect more of the point guard duties again, like we've seen in years past for B.I. with that. Over here for the Denver Nuggets, they're going to be without Jamal Murray. He left the last game with a hamstring injury, so Reggie Jackson should slide into the starting lineup, but at the end of the day, we already know that the Joker, the usage is just going to go through the roof. He's going to be playing that point center role again on today's slate. All right, so that's the injury news. Going over here to the actual slate, breaking it down. Starting with the first game that we got up here, we got San Antonio Spurs. And again, if you guys are new here, you guys do not have a DraftKings account, check the link down in the description below so you can get that deposit match bonus and join me over here on DraftKings. Really great site, pretty decently. I like the value and everything that we can get over here in the contest. They're actually pretty decently sized as well. And if you guys know what you're doing in building wise, you typically can cash almost every night, especially just paying attention to ownership and just how to build a pretty decent line over here. All right, so starting with San Antonio, like I said, they are on the back end of a back-to-back. Wemby, yesterday, he played 38 minutes, most minutes that he's played so far this season. Definitely would pay attention because he is one of those candidates where we could see he might can get his minutes limited or something like that. This is a really great spot for him. Wouldn't be surprised if he actually goes out here and drops another 40-plus bomb going up against the Pacers, who we do know they play pretty fast, pretty sloppy sometimes. Some blocks, the upsides will be there. So don't mind Wemby here. Don't mind Zach Collins at all at center position. We have seen that centers have smashed going against Indy as well. Sochan, good spot for him, but mainly for me, it's going to be Branham. Just at 4-1, if he's definitely going to start for Vassell, he's going to be one of the top value plays on the slate. Again, fast pace, played at least 25 minutes out there in the last game, dropped 26 fantasy points, good fantasy point per minute producer. The upside is there for him, can do some playmaking, rebounding, and also can score pretty well. Didn't take any threes, but was very efficient from the floor in his time out there, even with playing with guys like Keldon Johnson, who's going to take a lot of those shots. But Vassell, if you know Vassell, he takes a lot of shots himself, so the usage will definitely be there, and just the price point is ridiculous. 4-1 in a fast-paced matchup. Love that for him over there on that side. For Indy, of course, it's going to start with Hallie, end with Hallie. Coming off of a 69.5 fantasy point game and in loss going up against the Hornets. Definitely bounce back spot for them to definitely get a win. Wouldn't be surprised if he goes out here and he drops another double, killing it on the assist out there. Just like it. 9-4. Wouldn't mind paying up for him if he's one of the studs that you want to pay up for. Outside of that, really no one else is jumping out the page that I need to have over here from the Pacers. It's really just going to be Hallie. If you want to take a chance on Miles Turner or Buddy Hield or any of these other guys, you can. But for me, really, it's just going to be Halliburton. He's the main guy that I want to go to and get to on the slate. Going over to Washington, taking on the 76ers. In all honesty, I have no interest in anybody over here from Washington. You can take a stab at Kuzma. He has been the better player between him and Poole. We already know that they're going to jack up the shots. Kuzma, he can get you somewhere there in regards to the fact that he can rebound and get you some assists and things like that. But outside of that, this is going to be a tougher matchup. I would expect for them to get blown out. Maybe one of those games where we see them play less than 30 minutes. Poole, he's going to jack up his shots. He's gonna do whatever he wants to do as always. But at 7-4, 7-6, I don't see any point in going to them in the mid-tier ish range for in regards to quote unquote players you can play up for when we have a 12-game slate, a whole bunch of other players that we can go to. This is one of those cross-off teams that I'm not going to worry too much about. Wouldn't mind taking a stab at Tyus Jones, if anything, but everyone else, I'm not too interested at all in Washington on the slate. For Philly, I don't mind paying up for Joel Embiid if I'm not going to pay up for the Joker on today's slate. He should legit give Gafford the business and the work. If you look at what he did last season going up against Washington, sorry, if you look at what he did last season going up against Washington, definitely went out there and imposed his will going up against them. And this was when Kristaps Porzingis was even there. So, the games were a little bit closer last season. But first game, he dropped 74 fantasy points. Second game, he dropped 60 fantasy points. Again, who's going to stop him on this team? Nobody. If Joel Terrell can go out here and just do what he wants to do, definitely can put up a double-double and destroy them. Outside of that, of course, Tyrese Maxey, we know he's going to have the usage. He's there. I don't mind going to him as well as another mid-tier stud option that you can go to. And then Kelly Oubre, 6K, if you land there in that mid-tier range, he longs his shots falling, and he's looked very well, even when he got inserted into the starting lineup, at least 30-plus fantasy points in both of the games since he's been a starter. I do like that for him here. And then Tobias Harris, no one really likes to click on that name, but definitely is looking much better this season. Definitely, he has the green light to go out there and get his shots, hunt for it. Has really played very well. Double upside for him as well, especially off the glass. So don't mind that for Tobias Harris if you want to get someone from the Philly game, but you don't have to. But definitely Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey, top 2-tier plays right there. For Dallas taking on Orlando, we know that they are on the back end of a back-to-back. Luka last night, even though he didn't shoot the greatest, 8 of 19, it took a minute for him to get going. Couldn't hit none of his threes. Still dropped 53.5 fantasy points. Almost put up a triple-double last night. Going up against Orlando, this game should be close. Orlando is playing very well this season. Would expect it to be a close game. So don't mind if you want to pay it for Luka. But to me, honestly, when I have the Joker who has no Jamal Murray and in the late night hammer on top of that, going up against the Pelicans team who should somehow be able to keep this close, they are going to need his size and just the facilitating and everything that he should be able to go out there and do what he wants against Joval. I do like the Joker or Embiid over Luka on today's slate, especially since they are not coming off of the back-to-back and Luka is. I know that he didn't play crazy heavy minutes. He only played 36 minutes out there yesterday. Still, of course, they got the dub, but don't mind Luka. Might be lower owned versus those other two big studs that we can get to. So definitely worth there. Kyrie, just a little bit too much. Don't think you got to go there in regards to it. Can definitely take a stab at Grant Williams. He was someone that I ended up on yesterday just because he was value 5-1 and he's been very consistent being in a starting role. The shot is falling. We know that he can be very consistent, especially when he's rolling from three. Those are the things that kind of put me on him and why he was one of the value plays that I went to yesterday on the slate. So don't mind going to Grant Williams here again today. Only played 31 minutes last game. And if the shot's falling once again here, I really do like that. And the defensive upside that he can have out there, I don't hate that. But outside of that, no one else really tickles a whistle from them. Going over to Orlando, if France is out, again, like I said, I would expect Anthony Black to go ahead and start at 4-3. Don't mind, don't hate it. The kid looked pretty good. Wasn't aggressive out there hunting for his shots or anything like that. Facilitated just a little bit, played some defense, was very solid going against the Lakers. Kind of seemed like he was more in don't make mistakes mode out there and playing within himself. Didn't get too outside of himself. No turnovers and everything for a first-time start. Looked very good. I don't mind going to Anthony Black, but the guy I'm going to rather get to is going to be Goga. As you've seen last night, Mark Williams went out there. He gave Lively the business, and I would expect much the same in a great fantasy point per minute productor in Goga. The block upside, definitely there for him. Went out there, 5 blocks against the Lakers, 10 rebounds, 10 points, and went out there and legit give Anthony Davis the business in regards to just playing pretty good defense and blocking a whole bunch of shots. So I really do like Goga again at 4-7. Should definitely get the start. I know they got Mo Wagner priced up more than him at 5-1. He would be the pivot that you can go to. He didn't look too bad. We know he's going to play at least close to 20 minutes, especially if the game is close, or even if the game gets out of hand, they might give him more run. Looks very good. He can stroke it from 3. Both of these guys can actually stroke it from 3 if they actually want to. So I don't mind either one of these guys, but Goga, top value play on today's slate, as long as he gets to start once again. I really do like that. Outside of that, if Fultz is out, of course, like I said, you're going to get a boost for guys like Suggs. You're going to get a boost for Cole Anthony as well. And then Paolo, some more of the playmaking opportunities and stuff for him, bringing the ball up, facilitating the offense. As you can see, 10 assists right there. If Fultz is ruled out before they take it off the board, I would go ahead and hammer that rebounds and assist prop if you can get that before they take that down. And I wouldn't mind paying it for Paolo as one of those guys that you can go to on today's slate, or Franz. Either one of these guys. This is one of those where I always talk about you can play the ownership game in regards to who you want to go to, who's going to have lower ownership, and just hope that that player is the one that actually goes off. As you can see, Franz didn't do bad. 33 minutes, 39.25 fantasy points. But Paolo, with his double-double, just put up a little bit more in production and has looked very aggressive since that Utah game. Looked really, really good in that last game as well. Going over to the next game, Golden State Warriors taking on Detroit. Like I said, both of these teams are on a back-to-back. I don't see myself getting to anyone necessarily over here on the Warriors. Steph Curry, 10-2. I'd rather just go ahead and pay for Luka or Embiid if I want to go to something like that. And then, of course, Tyrese Halliburton, much better play to me personally. Detroit, they're decent. They can definitely hang with them as long as they can keep themselves out of foul trouble. If you want to take something, maybe take a stab at Klay Thompson, 6'9", looks very good, getting his shots, looking great out there. Looney, Draymond Green, none of them really are just too interesting right here. Maybe we can see more minutes for Saric off the bench since this is a back-to-back, or Kuminga, but not really too interested in anybody over here. On Detroit side, same thing. Cade, don't mind him, as long as he can keep himself out of foul trouble. We know how Cade, he likes to get ticky-tacky, pick up those fouls. But if Ivy is out, maybe some more of those minutes in regards to facilitating the offense, don't mind going to Cade. Not a must at 8-5. Again, there's just some better guard plays and stuff that you can get to on the slate. Jalen Duren, not bad. We do know he's leading the league right now in rebounds. So don't mind going to him. Definitely finally went back to his double ways last game going up against the Suns. So again, only 31 minutes. Don't mind going to him if you want to. They can use his size to bully Looney or Draymond Green down there at the center position. So one you can take a stab on. And then if you want to mess with Asir, you can, but no one necessarily is a must over here. Now, if Ivy is out, I will have some interest in Sasir again. I went to him yesterday in the early slate. I didn't put out a core for that, but I did play cashed on that, getting a pretty decent low owned Sasir. Once I seen that Ivy was out, I seen that they were already giving him pretty decent minutes with Ivy playing. And with Alec Burke being out, seems like he's been getting a lot of that run off the bench. 33, 5 fantasy points, played 30 minutes, knocked down a lot of his shots, was beautiful from three, playmaking. I wouldn't mind going to him again as another value play that you can get to. We do know he's going to get minutes. And if the game blows out, if Golden State takes a run, lead, we possibly could see some more minutes for Sasir here. So I don't mind going to that. And if you want to believe in narratives, if you want to believe in get backs, maybe we can see James Wiseman get dusted off the bench and they actually let him get some minutes. But right now, as such a high pick, dude's a bust. Milwaukee taking on the Brooklyn Nets. We already know it's Giannis, it's Dame. These are going to be the main two guys you want to go to from this team. I'll take a stab at Giannis as probably one of the lower owned studs you can get to on the slate, and maybe we can see him go back to his ways of a 60+ fantasy point type game. Not a bad matchup going up against the Nets. Not a must, but could see him being lower owned. Same thing for Dame. Maybe we can get a Dame time right here, but not really liking too much from the Bucks, especially on such a big slate. The total's not really all that crazy. I could just see it be one of those games where you get a low on Giannis. And I wouldn't mind taking a stab at him, but not really finding myself looking at him this early in the slate. Unless some news or someone that gets ruled out or something like that for them, I'm not really messing too much with the Milwaukee Bucks besides the main two guys in Giannis and Damian Lillard. Over here for the Brooklyn Nets, again with Claxton, Johnson, all these guys being out. DFS, he should go ahead and get the start. Ben Simmons is back. It should be Ben, Cam, Mikal Bridges, Spencer Dinwiddie, and Dorian Finney-Smith. Now, we do know the Bucks, they have been giving up a lot of perimeter shots, and that seems to be the forte of what Cam Thomas is going out there doing. Was surprised, genuinely surprised that he had a pretty decent game going up against Boston, who is a good defensive team. 2 of 6 from 3, but still was just able to find his shot, get to the free throw line a little bit, and just do it in regards to putting up those peripheral stats. Now, you're going to go up against a Bucks team who has been struggling to guard those outside shots. I won't mind taking a stab at Cam Thomas or Mikal Bridges, who we do know definitely can struggle from 3 as well. Has been playing pretty decent and sometimes seems to be the forgotten guy. Wouldn't mind taking a stab at either one of these guys as someone I could take from this game just because of the defensive laps that we're getting with the Bucks. Ben Simmons, 7K. If you land there, not a bad spot for him. We know he has the triple-double upside in regards to him being able to get his rebounds, the assists, and everything in playmaking. And we know he is going to be out there as the power forward center position for them. So don't mind going there. Outside of that, not really too interested in anything else over here for the Nets. The Lakers taking on Miami. Of course, it is Anthony Davis, LeBron James, main two guys I'm going to want to go to. I respect this game to be close. Miami, dog team. They play tough, pretty good defense. Anthony Davis has had some 50-ish plus fantasy point games. Not really those 60s that we're looking for in regards to paying up for him at this 9.99 price tag. I wouldn't mind still taking a stab at AD. He's looked very aggressive over these last couple games. I definitely know they're going to want to get their get back after losing to Orlando and just did not look good from the jump from the start. So maybe expect a more aggressive Lakers team. And for the fact that they're definitely want to win some more games than what they're losing right now. So I can see LeBron James again playing in that 33, 35 minute range. Seems like he has a safe floor so far in regards to that. And I can take a stab at D'Lo. Don't mind going to him. Not really too interested in Austin Reeves or Torian Prince. With that being said, and then Cam Reddish, Jesus Christ, just I'm not even gonna touch on Cam. That was ridiculous. Last game was my worst value play that I had in my line the last time Lakers played when they played against Orlando. Was just literally horrible. Going over here to Miami, Bam. You can always go to Bam. Definitely don't mind. Not a must. Tyler Hero, he's looking great in regards to looking for his shot, stroking it. Definitely knows that he can go out here and put up 20 plus points, real life points, and get involved in regards to he's rebounding at a very good clip and also constantly getting his assist. Don't mind if you want to take something from this game. Maybe we can go to a Tyler Hero, definitely in play. And then you already know Jimmy Butler. He gets up for these type of games. I wouldn't mind going to Jimmy Butler, but not a must. None of these guys over here from Miami. This game really is not a must, but I can see it being decent, but not. It doesn't make me want to get there. I want to play more of these high total games, like the first game, San Antonio taking on Indy, the Atlanta OKC game, the Pelicans Denver game, the Kings and the Houston game. Those are the games that I really want to target on today's slate versus some of these mid tier games. But definitely some value and some spots where you can get some low owned players because it is a 12 game slate. Going over here to the Clippers taking on New York, we really do need to see how the starting lineup meshes, but I still do feel like there is some merit and some value in players like Russell Westbrook, Paul George. Either one of these guys, people might go ahead and fade and want to see how they play, how they mesh, and things like that. Still, I would expect minutes will be secure for the main guys that are going to go out here and play. A lot of the power in this Clipper line is in their starting lineup, is with these main guys. So I would still expect 30 to 35 minutes for these guys. Don't mind taking a stab at Russell Westbrook. Maybe we could see his assists, him go up to the double-digit assists, playing with his boy James Harden again. Addition to Rock. Might take a hit on his points. Definitely still feel like he'll be able to get his rebounds and he'll be able to so still find a couple of his shots, things like that. Maybe Harden can set him up for some easy backdoor cuts, things of that nature. But I wouldn't mind taking a stab at a low on Westbrook with the thought of, hey, we need to see how Harden plays. Harden's still going to be on a minute limit, maybe 25, 28 minutes. So still some time for Russell Westbrook, Kawhi Leonard, and Paul George to dominate. Speaking of Paul George does have the better matchup out of everybody since he is sliding back to that small forward position. I've attacked small forwards going up against the Knicks all season, and it's just been a trend. And P, again, I've said time and time again, start of the season, it's a healthy Paul George. No shoulder issues, no knee injuries, none of that stuff for Paul George yet. So I will go ahead and I will take that all day, every day. I don't think his shots are going to take too much of a hit. He's right there averaging right around 17, 16 shots a game. I would expect much of the same, especially considering that he's a 3-point specialist and then just a lockdown defender when it comes down to it at the end of the day. So the upside definitely there for him, and he's had some pretty great games playing against New York and in New York as well. So definitely really do like Paul George at 9-1 would probably be one of the more lower owned studs that we can get to. Over here for the New York side, you can take a stab at Brunson. We know point guards, they've done pretty decent going up against the Clippers as well on the opposite side of things. And we could mess with Julius Randle, but not going to mess with him going up against Kawhi Leonard defense or RJ Barrett coming off that knee injury. So really not too interested in any of these guys. Again, with RJ Barrett being back quickly, he's going to lose a little bit of those minutes that he was having. Josh Hart, too expensive for the minute loss that he's going to take. And Dante, he's there. he's just the Villanova guy that's there. Utah Jazz taking on the Chicago Bulls. From them, it's just Lauri Markkanen. If you're going to mess with anything from here, John Collins, he's been consistent out there in that starting lineup for them. At least give you close to 30 fantasy points out there. If you land there, that's not bad. But outside of here, maybe take a stab at Taylor Horton Tucker if you want to mess with something. They are on the road, so I'm not going to go to Clarkson. Like I said last time breaking it down, his home road splits are just drastic. really drastic. So on the road, I'm not going to touch him. If anything, I take some unders on some props or something like that if I'm just going to ride the wave of the trend that I'm seeing so far to start the season with Clarkson. Outside of that, maybe if you feel like the game will stay close, you can mess with Laurie, as we do know that this is his former team, and he has give them the business whenever he has played going up against the Bulls. So definitely you could take a narrative right there. On the other side of the thing is Zach Vooch Rosen. As we always say, look at the ownership, see which one's going to be lower owned. Vooch, to me, of course, he has the matchup. He can go out there and rebound and get his points and do a little bit of playmaking. I would value Vooch over everyone else currently right now as it stands. And plus, looking at ownership so far, he is the lower owned out of them all. Atlanta taking on my OKC Thunder. We already know this is going to be a fast-paced game, back and forth. Atlanta looking great. Clint Capella, centers, going up against my Thunder have been a thing. Now, I will say this to merit in not taking Clint, coming out here to Okongwu. Okongwu has played us hard, has looked great playing off the bench, period, so far this season, and definitely a great fantasy point per minute producer. I can see him going out here and smashing us in the 20-plus minutes that he's going to get. As we know, him and Clint, they split the time at the center position. Pretty much the forwards should be in a good prime position spots. Hunter, Johnson, if he starts again, he's in a good spot to go out there and just give us some working business. Sadiq Bey off the bench, going to play at least 20-ish minutes. He's in the spot to give us some business. So the value forwards out here for the Hawks, they all look appealing. All of them look really appealing. But Johnson, main guy, since he will be starting, I do like him in this position spot. Okongwu off the bench, really great spot for him. Sadiq Bey, he looks good as well. Between the two guards, DeJounte Murray, still priced at 7-8. He's so-so. He's done so-so going up against us, but coming off a back-to-back 40-plus point fantasy point games, at least 20 points, and he's rebounding and getting those assists. Love that for him. Don't mind going to DeJounte Murray over Trae Young. As we do know, Trae, he's breaking out. He's getting there. Really want to see him throw some more threes up and knock him down. Definitely seeing the assists. They're going down. And the lob threat, the lob opportunities that he should have in this game going up against. I know we finally got Chet back. Is a pretty decent rim protector, but we are still small. So definitely opportunities there for some decent lobs and things like that for Trae, who we do know the Hawks, they do like to throw it down as well. So don't mind messing with Trae Young if you want to pay up for him over Halliburton on today's slate. Decent spot for that. And Trae, he's back home. So always the narrative right there. For the Thunder, for me, really it's just Chet. I could take a stab at Jalen Williams if I want to. Lou Dort, he's going to get his shots. Playing at home, pretty decent playing at home. Last game dropped 37.75 fantasy points. A lot of that was due to the fact that he dropped 29 points, 9 of 12, 6 of 6 from 3. I don't expect for him to go 6 of 6 from 3 again. So temper your expectations with that. 5-6, I would rather just go ahead and find a way to get to Jalen Williams or Chet. Chet, good spot for him. The block upside that he should have going up against guys like Clint, Jalen Johnson, Hunter, Sadiq Bey. We already know that DeJounte Murray and Trae Young, they both like to drive in there, try to go up against bigs, things like that. The rebounds, he should be able to get some of those, but the points, the scoring, if they put his first half points or anything like that, or honestly, his first half fantasy score has been money. I would take the over on either that or his PRA. Both of those have been just money. And until that changes or they put it at a ridiculous number, I'm not going to stray away from that. So definitely a smash spot, smash play. I'm going to take that on probably one of my 25x plays that I put over there on Prize Picks today. Definitely. But outside of that, maybe you could take a stab at Josh Giddey. Not going to mess with that. It's mainly just Chet and Jalen Williams for me. Boston taking on Minnesota. Big three. Tatum, Porzingis, Brown. Don't mind messing with Holiday at the 7K price tag. Decent, good matchup for him going up against the Timberwolves. Looked very good in that last game, of course, with no White. Almost put up a triple-double. Would I expect some of those numbers to come down? Yes, of course, since, White pretty much your backup guard. Well, not backup, your two guard. Both of these guys, they both rebound very well. They both play make very well. I don't mind if I play for Jrue Holiday, especially if for some reason they just take White and he's out again today. I wouldn't mind that. But outside of that, Porzingis, Brown, Tatum, all these guys, you can go to them. No one really is like, oh yes, I need to play that. Out of them all, I really do like White and Holiday, but something's just really pushing me more towards Holiday right now. Over here for Minnesota taking on the Boston Celtics. On this side, nobody sticks out in all honesty. When I was looking at numbers and everything, Towns, he's done all right, but nothing really to write home about at 8-1. Anthony Edwards, we know he's going to try to go at him, but just the defensive upside that these guys have, no one's just like, I need to go and play this player. Maybe take a stab at someone like Niles Reed off the bench or Kyle Anderson, but it's not must territory. All right, last two games, we're almost there. We're almost done, guys. So hopefully I'm not boring you guys. Hopefully you guys are really getting some information and some value going through this and just looking at the plays. And I'm answering some questions as I go along. If there's anything that you guys want to talk about or go over inside the comment section, let me know down in the comment section so I can go over that, look more into it, talk about it. Like I said, check out the Dub Club. Once you sign up, you get access to the Discord. Talk to me inside the Discord. We can go over some things as well, prop plays or lineup construction, especially for DraftKings. I really do feel like DFS is one of those things that a lot of people have strayed away from since props has come out, for that quick cash grab that you guys can get going to props. But don't forget about DFS, man. It is literally it's money just as well as props are. All right, so the Kings, we already know that Fox, he's still going to be out. We should see Davion Mitchell be slid still into the starting lineup. He's priced under 5K again. Played 26 minutes in that last game. Only gave us 20.25 fantasy points. Don't mind going right back to Davion in what should be a quick, fast-paced, back and forth type game. There's some value in going to Monk. Monk looked very good. Played a lot of minutes in that last game. 26. Came out there, was the spark off the bench for them. Dropped 35.25 fantasy points in that game. And then bonus, the ball's going to be in his hand, the assist upside, the rebounding, all that stuff is going to be there. He just really needs to put it together in regards to actually scoring and looking for his shot. Don't mind if you want to pay up for him, but when you get right there to Sabonis, you might as well just go ahead and take Giannis, who has, if not a pretty safe floor and a higher upside than what Sabonis is going to be able to give you right there at that price. Or just go ahead and just go all the way up to the Joker at the center position is honestly what I would do right there. On the other side, Şengün, I love him here in the spot, sitting at the AK price tag. Got 34 minutes in the last game, of course, but yeah, I just really don't understand this whole minute thing with Şengün. Don't mind going to him here, a decent spot as well. And then Jabari Smith Jr., I was all over him last time when they went out here and they played the Kings. 34 minutes, smadashed, dropping 39.75 fantasy points. Don't mind going right back to him. Still priced under 6K. The upside is there for the kid. As long as he's under 6K, I really do like him as a mid-tier type value play that you can go to. Pretty safe floor in regards. He's going to at least give us about 28 to 30-ish fantasy points, especially in such a juicy matchup. And we know the upside is going to be there as well. With Amen Thompson being out, kind of feel like that's really just giving the boost to players like Dylan Brooks, who went out there and dropped a season high so far, 26 points, looked amazing, dropping 41.25 fantasy points, has looked very good playing for the Rockets. I don't mind going to him here at that 5.2 price tag. Like, in all honesty, I'm shocked that I'm even considering wanting to even play him. Then, of course, for everyone league, Jalen Green, you can't go wrong. Mess with either one of those guys. All right, last game on the dock, last game on the slate. With CJ McCollum being out, we do need to know who's going to slide into the starting lineup for him. Again, I would expect for it to go ahead and be Dyson Daniels, but still, I think that's just really going to give a boost to guys like BI and Zion. They will have the ball in their hands. They will play make. They already do that as it is. Either one of those guys, and if we're expecting for the Pelicans to keep it close, either one of those guys could definitely be in play. But for me, it's the Joker from this game, period. The upside, the usage, everything, the price. I don't think the price is truly adjusted for the fact that you do not have Jamal Murray out here playing with them. And if you look at his game logs and what he's done going up against just the Pelicans, or just whenever he has not had Jamal Murray, they look pretty good. So I will go ahead now. I'll take the Joker here all day, every day. And then I do have some interest in, of course, Aaron Gordon, who did see an uptick in his production. I love his fantasy score again today. His fantasy score, if they drop that at 26.5, which is what it was last slate, I will take the over on that. And if I wanted to say right now, his PRA is at like 23.5, I'll take the over on that again. The rebound upside, the playmaking, he will get some more assists as well. But the scoring load will also fall. He will also be able to have to score as well. I do not mind looking at Aaron Gordon as a possible play. Michael Porter Jr., do not hate him at all. And you will have to consider Reggie Jackson in that 5.5 under 6K range, just because he is going to start at the point guard position. He definitely is a more than capable starting point guard player. Pretty much a fantasy point per minute production when he was out there. Really great shooting wise, and the playmaking. He's going to get a couple of playmaking opportunities, especially when the Joker is not out there on the floor and he's out there leading the offense like Jamal Murray would normally do whenever the Joker sits towards the end of the first, beginning of the second period. So definitely some upside right there for Reggie Jackson as well. All right, guys, that is going to be the breakdown. Hopefully I gave you guys some nuggets and things you could use. If you guys are looking for my cheat sheet, for my cores, player props, all that stuff, check the link down in the description below for the Dub Club. Right now, again, it's free. You're free. You lose nothing right now in signing up and just checking out the information that we're putting out over here. Hopefully you guys cash out. Talk to me down in the comment section. Let me know, what is your favorite stud on today's slate that you feel that you have to have in your line in order to go ahead and cash out. It's your boy Zoe. Peace.